2018 Vauxhall Crossland X SUV Review. The good points of Vauxhall Crossland X SUV. Low market price. Lots of ordinary kit. Zingy 1.2T 130 horsepower petrol. Spacious inside. Large boot. The bad points of Vauxhall Crossland X SUV. Leans a great deal in corners. Ride might be on firm side. Styling won't interest everyone. Infotainment screen not so responsive. The Vauxhall Crossland X joins a crowded family SUV market, full of some exceptionally good cars such as company's own fractionally larger Mach-E X and a lot bigger Grandland X. However, Vauxhall says the entry point to its three cars range offers class-leading space and dynamics. Whereas the Mach-E is really a sportier, higher-priced option, the Crossland offers something somewhat more utilitarian. It's not homegrown, though. The Crossland X is dependent on the underpinnings and mechanicals of just one of its chief rivals, the Peugeot 2008. It also goes head-to-head together with the Ford EcoSport, Nissan Juke and Renault Captur, and Vauxhall has priced it with value at heart. It's 4.21 meters long, rendering it perfectly sized for parking bays throughout the country. How does the Vauxhall Crossland X drive? We found the Crossland X as a solidly good drive. With efficient and well-designed engines and several interior space. You get lots of ordinary equipment too, but this tends to push the value up towards £20,000, which we believe is a great deal for a car of the type. Buyers should be aware of that. It includes a very high driving position and also the body leans lots mid-corner, which may be somewhat disconcerting in case you accidentally get into a bend straight away. However, the engines we've tried are perfect and the suspension is around the firm side with the tall ride height, but ultimately predictable and well configured for UK roads. Our favorite engine will be the 130 horsepower 1.2-liter turbo petrol mated to your 6-speed manual gearbox, but that is only available on Techline nav trim and above. Vauxhall expects the 110 horsepower version, with this engine being more popular, predicted to create up around 50% of sales in say specification, but we didn't enjoy driving this certain as much. It incorporates a 5-speed gearbox that may account for a number of the loss of character, however its power delivery feels noticeably flatter. Flexible interior arrangements. What's the Crossland X like inside? The Crossland X can be obtained with engineered AG or certified seats in the beginning, meaning they've been built using the German campaign for healthier backs, so needs to be super comfortable. We've not tried them yet, and optional adjustable rears could be slid backward and forward to prioritize luggage space over legroom. Its boot measures 410 liters with all the rear seats up, understanding that expands to 520 liters using them moved forward and folded down completely. Luggage capacity increases to just 1,255 liters. The interior is dominated by a sizable 7.0-inch touchscreen or 8.0 inches for really cost, and around the driver aids features list you receive Vauxhall OnStar along with the IntelliLink infotainment systems and also Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's a good-looking setup, together with the center console horizontally aligned to the motive force for added functionality. High-quality finishes are given with chrome accents throughout the cluster and air vents, whilst the centerpiece from the interior may be the touchscreen. However, we had been less than impressed using the infotainment system. Its screen was slow to reply to fingertip inputs, and yes, it lacked the powerful processing power of costlier units. Standard kit about the Vauxhall Crossland X. There's a significant array of equipment even on base spec A cars. View the features page for just a full rundown. But highlights include dual-zone climate control, that large infotainment screen and 6 airbags. Other kit available since you move up throughout the range consuming say nav, company car-focused Techline nav, Elite and Elite nav in addition to the optional extras, includes adaptive forward lighting and head-up display. Sharp looks to tie in while using Z generation. The Crossland X has largely predictable styling, with Vauxhall's signature LED daytime running lights, chrome detailing along with a floating roof, a styling feature shared while using Atom. Being a ruggedized SUV crossover, there is the usual cladding, high-mounted rear lamp clusters and raised suspension. Vauxhall has aggressively priced the Crossland X the way it has, using the insignia Grand Sport, majoring it on value, and hopes to repeat the success from the Mach-E X, and that is consistently one with the UK's top 10 best-selling cars. Latest deals from Car. Vauxhall Crossland X Techline N. £14,425, or £222 each month. Vauxhall Crossland X Techline N. £14,000, or £213 monthly. See all deals on Vauxhall Crossland X. Representative example, representative APR of 7.9%, borrowing £10,509 over 48 months on HP-type finance. The quantity payable could be £250 on a monthly basis, having a total cost of credit of £1,483 plus a total amount payable of £11,992. Dennis Car Limited, 3132 Alfred Place, London, WC1E7DPGBL 9151058 can be a credit broker regulated by FCAFRN:667368. The verdict. If the success in the Mach-E X is something to go by, Vauxhall has another hit on its hands using the latest member of the company's family. It certainly scores well in terms of normal equipment for the extra bucks, and has now lots of showroom appeal. It's not really that inspiring to push, and with regard to purchase price, it's not as compelling as being the Renault Captur or Peugeot 2008, however it is extremely economical within petrol and diesel form. It's not a class-leading product, however it is comfortable and boasts ample space, and, therefore, powerful. Keep an eye out in the next few days to watch probably the most comprehensive Vauxhall Crossland X review you'll find. Range of small petrol and diesel motors. Don't expect sizzling performance. We've got a definite favorite, but which can be it? Let's start with saying that performance isn't the Vauxhall Crossland X SUV is approximately, plus the array of small petrol and diesel engines with paltry power outputs reflects that fact. Petrol engines. The petrol range starts using the non-turbocharged 1.2. which incorporates a disappointing 81 horsepower and 118 Nm. We haven't driven this motor yet, though 0-62 miles per hour, getting a glacial 14 seconds plus an eventual top speed of 105 miles per hour. We can't imagine it's going to become our pick from the range. Far better performance might be expected on the turbocharged 1.2. We've driven this in 110 HP 205 Nm and 130 HP 230 Nm configurations, the former using a 5-speed manual gearbox and also the latter having a 6-speed. Our favorite was the high-powered one, which includes a characterful engine note and decent flexibility within the road. It covers 0-62 miles per hour in 9.1 seconds, which still isn't earth-shattering. Nonetheless it does so with plenty of punch to a minimum of make this small car feel nippy. The 110 horsepower engine helps make the Crossland X feel noticeably less desperate to accelerate, with all the 5-speed box changing your vehicle's accelerative performance dramatically. Hitting 62 miles per hour in 10.6 seconds, it's still second best they are driving, however, and could well be our recommendation should you don't desire to stretch your financial plans far enough to find the high-power motor available only on pricier trim levels. There's a mechanical gearbox to the 110 horsepower too, which extends the 0-62 miles per hour. 1.8 seconds. We've not driven this yet, but in writing it doesn't appear like a particularly compelling option. Diesel engines. It's an easy case of merely one engine and a couple of performance levels here. The 1.6-liter turbo D blue injection diesels are available in 99 HP 254 Nm or 120 HP 300 Nm forms, with 0-62 miles per hour taking 12 seconds and 9.9 seconds respectively. We've only driven aforementioned, and even though it's a smoother of an engine with many torque, It's not as responsive or interesting because the turbo petrol options. We were in awe of how quiet it can be, though. Substantial body lean in corners. Easy to park with additional help on hand for really cash. Don't be fooled with the looks, this isn't an off-roader. The Crossland X is easy to operate a vehicle and park, nevertheless it's fair to mention it isn't planning to rival the sector's best on the subject of handling. The primary issue here may be the amount of body lean when cornering, that's more than the usual, little disconcerting. We found the steering for being reassuringly well weighted, however. Vauxhall is quite good at this, and yes, it's refreshing to determine it filtering down for the cheaper models within the range. Your high driving position means great visibility for maneuvering in car parks, and in case you need extra assistance you're able to pay more and have acoustic parking sensors and also a rear view camera, if not more still for an automated parking system. Despite its off-roader looks, we wouldn't advise making the Crossland X too much off the beaten track. In reality it's simply a small hatchback. This is because, or a Mach-E X will likely be far more accomplished. It's the same story with towing, these engines simply don't possess the grunt too much higher than a small braked trailer. Spec list shows many compelling features. In reality it doesn't all work along with it could. Driving position readily accessible but some controls are odd. While the Crossland X's cabin incorporates a neat design, poke around a bit plus it immediately becomes clear that this is usually a car built with a low budget. The plastics aren't of a very high quality and many of the driving controls feel too cheap indeed. For example, the bizarrely shaped handbrake lever is within a position which makes it very hard to use together with the large armrest of high-spec cars, especially so since the button to release it really is on top, so some pretty special contortions of one's left arm are essential. We found fault using the car's infotainment system too. The touchscreen isn't anywhere close to as responsive since the Astra is, which bafflingly is especially good in this way, and yes it clearly lacks processing power in comparison with rival systems, which includes the effect of so that it is frustratingly slow to make use of. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay functionality is protected as standard, however, which can be a nice touch. It's simply a shame that after testing demos we experienced a number of crashes with the system, being forced to resort back towards the car's built-in nav instead. On the plus side, the leader adjusts for rake and reach, unlike many protagonists with this sector, which in addition to highly adjustable seats makes it no problem finding a good driving position. Reasonable ride comfort most with the time. Disconcerting quantity of lean in corners. Comfy standard seats, optional sports ones are better however. In the main there we were impressed with comfort levels within the Crossland X, but there's one problem which could cause issues. The suspension setup is configured therefore the ride is rather compliant, but because from the tall ride height the vehicle tends to lean disconcertingly when cornering. We also experienced a bumpier ride within the worst road surfaces about the launch route that we'd expect. But on normal roads this isn't a concern. What are AGR certified seats? You're perched on seats who do the job perfectly well, but we haven't a chance to check out the AGR certified design using the German campaign for healthier backs front seats you'll be able to order as a possible optional extra. There's pronounced road noise at motorway speeds, exacerbated through the fitment on the larger 17-inch wheels on high-spec cars. Though the engines aren't too vocal and wind noise doesn't pose much of a problem. Heating to the front seats and leader are available as optional extras too. Decent level of ordinary equipment. Techline named specifically at fleet drivers. Options enable you to personalize further. The Crossland X is often a well-equipped car's standard. Once you've exhausted the 5 trim levels it is possible to add options are numerous to further personalize your car or truck. Standard Vauxhall Crossland X equipment. The range starts off with SAE specification, which nets you Vauxhall's IntelliLink 4.0 infotainment system with 7.0-inch touchscreen, Bluetooth, DAB radio, USB connection and tire-mounted controls. You also get dual-zone climate control, cruise control having a speed limiter, 16-inch alloys, front fog lights, automatic headlights and wipers. Moving nearly same nav additionally nets you the IntelliLink 5.0 having its larger 8.0-inch touchscreen, voice control and another USB port. A 12-volt power socket as well as a driver's armrest are thrown in. Company car drivers is going to be keen to analyze Techline Nav, that takes say nav and adds a flex floor inside boot to keep smaller items securely, alloy effect door sill covers, different 16-inch wheels, a contrasting roof color, tinted rear windows and rear parking sensors. Top-spec elite cars get 17-inch alloys, alloy effect front and back protective skid plates, chrome effect window trim and door mirrors inside roof color. Elite Nav adds exactly the same kit that say Nav gets. Vauxhall Crossland X SUV optional extras. Key extra cost options within the Crossland X include Winter Pack, heated front seats and tire. Versatility Pack, sliding rear seats that split up into 3 and possess an adjustable backrest, armrest on middle rear seat including ski flap to load longer items. Flex floor. Premium LED lighting pack, cornering headlights with automatic leveling, automatic main beams and LED taillights. Front seats comfort pack, 12-way adjustable front seats. Ergonomic sports style front seats, 16-way adjustable with design that is certainly meant being optimized for comfort and rear legroom. Premium sound system, 6 speakers and subwoofer. Head-up display. Automatic parking system. Rear view parking camera. Front parking sensors. You've also got a choice of 3 roof colors and 11 paint colors from which to choose. Lots of ordinary safety kit. Limited optional extras. 5-star rating from Euro NCAP. The Vauxhall Crossland X's selection of safety kit is vast considering your buck. Improving the SUV acquire a 5-star crash test rating from Euro NCAP if it was sampled following 2017. Standard on all cars from say trim upwards is 6 airbags. OnStar with automatic emergency services calling. Cruise control using a speed limiter. Lane departure warning. Traffic sign recognition and display. Hill start assist. Tire pressure monitoring. Emergency tire inflation kit spare wheel is undoubtedly an optional extra. LED daytime running lights. Fatigue detection system. Moving approximately Techline nets you rear parking sensors. Optional Vauxhall Crossland X safety kit. There are limited options for really cost safety kit here, but buyers possess the choice of the head-up display that we've yet to evaluate, LED headlights, front parking sensors with an automatic parking system. You may specify a rear view camera that can help with parking. How many ISOFIX car seats can I integrate a Vauxhall Crossland X SUV? You'll find ISOFIX points about the 2 outer rear seats, and due on the space on offer from the back we feel it'll the simple to install children's seat. To avoid any doubt, however, we'll be testing this when the automobile comes into a cubicle. There isn't a solution to pay extra for further ISOFIX points. Decent sized boot area with optional flexibility. Small footprint means it'll be simple to park. Room for 4 adults, but 5 is going to be a squeeze. The cabin from the Crossland X is impressively large considering its footprint. While the middle rear seat isn't going being the comfiest destination for a sit for long journeys, the 2 outer rear seats offer a lot of headroom and knee space for adults. It'll seat 4 in comfort. You've got some cup holders inside the front as well as an average-sized glove box and door bins that could store the normal bottle of sentimental drink. The Crossland X doesn't have a big footprint by any means, and must easily fit into most garages and parking spaces nationwide. Its high driving position and larger area of glass mean the trucker has great visibility for parking. A rear view camera is undoubtedly an optional extra worth specifying too if this really is an issue. The Vauxhall Crossland X is usually a surprisingly practical car considering its small footprint. Its 410-liter luggage space can be as big as far larger vehicles. In fact, the Ford Focus's boot is practically 100 liters smaller. We were particularly impressed using the size and shape with the boot opening coupled while using low loading lip, meaning it'll be simple to lift heavy objects inside. The floor comes with an admirable quantity of surface area too, plus a maximum width of just 1 meter. There's an incorrect floor in it to stow smaller items, while buyers can also be able to repay extra to obtain sliding rear seats that liberate 520 liters of room. The seats also fold down flat in the 60 hours 40 minutes split so that you can load longer items high or hooks on both sides to hitch your affordable handbags to.